started working on getting some size and still keeping the reproductive advantages. We did a lot of work with breeding them 3 times in 2 years.
Yes.
And they, no problem at all.
Yeah.
They would usually go, maybe lamb 3 in a row and then skip one, and then they would be the first ones to lamb.
Right,
and then
the
they
next
would,
time.
So, but we only left the rams in for 30 days.
Yeah.
And so if they didn't get bred in 30 days, they were out. But
Yeah.
that way, you could almost get 2 lamb crops a year, but you can't.
It's pushing.
With a whole flock, you can't. There are individuals that you could get 2 crops a
Did
year.
you focus on twinning as
3.
well?
Excuse me?
Did you focus on twinning as well? Multiple births?
My big problem was I had too many lambs always.
Yeah.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so I almost had to select backwards for the ones that only had twins. And we did some work with raising bum lambs on artificial, we had a 5-gallon white bucket with the tubes that go down in.
Right.
And I don't know as you can afford to raise a bum lamb now. can you?
Hardly. Yeah. It's
You
expensive.
have to wean them like at 30 days for sure. So,
Yes.
and that's even still,
They don't do that great.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
So you said
that
that.
was one of my problems, was to back them back so we weren't getting 3.1 lambs per ewe.
Yeah.
And that's really what we were getting. If we lambed once a year, we were getting just over 3. If we did the accelerated, we could back it back too.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
still, we were selecting for ewes that really were just twinning.
Now you said that the ewes were about 95 pounds. How big did you say the rams were? I didn't hear you.
120, 125. And I don't know, what are these ewes weighing now? 140?
Yeah, probably 140 to 160 is the variation.
And so that's not quite double what they were,
Yeah.
but it's really,
I wonder if that's just
really
food or is
increased.
that selection?
kind of,
Yeah, we try to raise them good, and we knew we tried it. It was so hot this summer that we wanted to keep them in. So anything like that's why all our polypay replacements stayed in, because this summer I don't think they would have grown well on pasture. So these were born late July, so
Okay,
they
I was
were
just
born
gonna ask
later.
you.
Yep.
so they're basically 7 to 8 weeks old.
Yeah, they're pretty young. I have a question. Were they this friendly when you had them? Yeah,
They were always friendly.
Yeah.
St. Croix were.
that's what Warren said too.
That's just who they are.
Our farm crew likes that
Something to a lip.
they never have to help them with lambing.
You don't, do you?
No.
Very, very seldom. One of the problems that we had when Lyle had a lot of students, because they had the wool lamb
Yes.
where we were at.
Yeah.
So all of these students were always walking through the barn. And they would see a ewe lay down and start lambing. Well, 4 of them would jump in, hold her down, reach up in and start pulling lambs out. And you just, no.
Leave her
Let
alone.
them go.
Gotta save the lamb.
Yeah, we really try to tell our students that in the undergrad, but I don't always get to teach the vet students. And so then you have the vet students that will come in and they'll try to teach the undergraduates that already probably know better. So
What were you saying?
yeah,
Okay.
but yeah,
Well, I do need a St. Croix ram this year, so,
Okay.
but I don't put them in till November,
Okay.
so they should be big enough.
Yeah, so we kept all the males intact this year. So, does the did you guys always dock the tails?
We did, yes.
Yeah.
We never
I know a
do.
lot of
Never
people
did.
don't.
No.
Yeah.
I like them better with the long tail.
Is
Hey,
the
I just like the look of them better. I like my dogs with their tails docked. I like my wife just goes, you know, border collies shouldn't have that. They should. Border collies are supposed to have the docked tails. But I do. I dock all the tails.
Never have.
Do
Well,
you
at least
dock
whoever
them?
docked
No,
them,
I think
Chad,
they look
did it a
strange
good
with them
length,
docked.
So it's covering the reproductive.
I do not like short dock tails.
Yeah,
I
I
will
don't like them
This
short.
is-
Right, I will push against that. And so when I first got here, I had to actually start a little bit of conflict and say, no, we have to do them
Yeah.
longer. So
Uh-huh.
That's
Now, this is
actually,
as short as you ever want to go.
Yes.
I got instructed this year for docking another hair sheep breed. Go to the end of the caudal fold, put your thumb, and then put the band.
yeah.
I did it at the end of the caudal fold, and now I did it this time. This is the first year I've tried it, but apparently they grow into that length, so it shortens up. So if you're docking short, it's going to draw right up into the spine.
Yeah.
No, I never had any problem at all with St. Croix prolapsing.
Yeah.
But if we did, now, that's
Yeah,
used
that's
docked a lot
tighter.
shorter than.
Yeah. I tell them to dock to the caudal fold,
Yes.
but I always say, but double check that that's long enough to cover the vulva.
Yeah.
Because no one should be in negative 20-degree weather with their vulva,
Right.
exposed.
Now now she's shorter than.
Yes.
That's probably that used shorter than
Yeah.
we would have had them. But no, I did dock everything.
I talked to Julie, who was it at the Virgin Islands that I called originally? Julie.
No, Sue Lacos.
Sue.
Yeah.
And she was very adamant on not docking.
Yeah.
You can, but you don't have
Well,
to.
and St. Croix, I guess.
But it,
Trying to think,
No, I
there
thought
was
it
a
said
vet
don't
down
need
there
to be.
that worked with them. Who is he in charge down there now? Or Bob Godfrey? He might have left.
I haven't talked to Godfrey. You guys know
I tried to
Godfrey.
reach him and I couldn't reach him.
Where is he at now?
Last I heard, he was in Kansas City, Missouri, at the USDA, a research station. But I've tried to reach him, and someone said that he had retired, and don't know where he is now. So, did you guys work closely with him when you were?
Yes, yeah, we used to go down. I spent probably 3 to 4 times a year down there. We were transferring a lot of embryos and going back and forth, and we were able to tie that in and get money with a scrapie study we were doing to bypass scrapie with embryo transfer.
Uh-huh.
And so we really transferred quite a few sheep down there, and of course, I don't know if you've ever been there. Anybody to St. Croix?
Not to St. Croix, it was
No.
St. Vincent.
They have just hair sheep basically, and their St. Croix sheep would be like this, but they might have horns or they might have a spot. And when we selected these, that was one of the criteria. We did not want horns and we did not want spots. But probably at least half the ewes were pregnant that when we chose them.
Right.
And, well, you didn't know what they were bred to.
Right.
You know, they had Barbados or Barbados.
Yeah.
They had Paraguay. They had just everything. And so we went to some places that were claimed to be straight St. Croix, but like I say, some of them would have a spot on them or a brown spot,
Yeah.
little horns, and so the first generation we did get a few of the lambs that were born that had spots and little horns, but we got rid of them. But still, it takes a while to get genetically. It took us a couple generations to where we weren't getting any spots or any.
I'm sorry I ruined your project, Dan.
Yeah, we still
I
get.
ruined your project.
Why?
I have black and white ones.
Oh. You know what? You're probably commercial, aren't you?
No, they're registered.
Oh, St. Croix can register them now?
Yeah.
There's 2 organizations,
Oh, okay.
and one is okay with color, and that's probably the most productive line, just by chance, the most productive line in my flock. I had a ewe that just died at 9 years old. Her first and her last lambings were twins. Everything in the middle was triplets that she raised. And in the first 3 years of her life, she had 5 lambings. So she was just an elite ewe. And how do you not want that?
I know just what you're saying. And that was a real, what do we do?
Yeah.
A real dilemma.
The purpose of importing them was, what I've heard is that the government wanted them to come in as a gift to the Shah of Iran. Is that true?
I
No.
don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't think any St. Croix sheep went to Iran.
They didn't because he got deposed.
Yeah, but
That was not the purpose of bringing them.
No, that was not.
What was the purpose for you to bring them in?
Well, basically, Dr. Foote is a reproductive physiologist, endocrinologist. So what we was wanting to look at is they have very short postpartum recovery. They have really, you can breed them just even in this year round.
Yeah.
You might have 6 weeks in the end of May through June that they really didn't. Now you'd always have 1 or 2, and so what mainly we was looking at the reproductive, and we bled them. I bet we got, I don't know how many thousands of blood samples that we followed through, and we would do endoscopic surgery. So, in fact, that was part of my master's degree. Had 3 different breeds, and we would breed them, year round. But then you'd have to go in with endoscopy and check how many ovulations and so that's the reason we brought them here. Was we was really interested in, they are so different genetically as far as the possibilities of breeding year-round, accelerated labor. That's why they were brought in.
Okay.
Now the Shah did get Suffolk sheep, and he got. We had a project directly with him, but it had nothing to do with St. Croix.
Okay.
It was.
It's just a legend.
We'll debunk that myth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Urban
No, that was-
legend.
That was not.
Okay.
Like I say, there was some black-faced breeds, and then we were crossing them with their native fat-tail sheep,
Right.
caracals, Katahdin, not Katahdins,
The caracals and
the caracals.
Awasi.
Yeah. So that's what we were. And the sheep they had in Iran were very, I guess they weren't infertile, but they were not fecund.
Okay.
1 lamb,
Ah.
and maybe once a year.
Ah.
So what we was trying to do is improve the meat quality
Yep.
and make their sheep more you know, better sheep, but they wanted wool. They did not want hair sheep.
How different, so in looking at the shape of these ewes, to me, these ewes look very broody. They look very St. Croix. And you said that you saw them, yours were smaller, but were they as broody as these?
They look just like this, only miniature.
Okay. Well, that's good.
They were very, very feminine.
Uh-huh.
The ewes were.
They are.
And these are really feminine looking.
They're gorgeous. And broody. I mean, they're gonna lay down and have some lambs. That was the whole point.
They've got nice udders.
That Chad wants that.
Yeah.
That one that you said is a little heavier. Yeah, she's
One
in.
woman, she might still be waiting. Okay.
There was one that came open, and it was her second year coming open, and we actually harvested her, and so on Saturday, that's the harvest for her right now.
Have you been down to Anderson's auction at all and watched the sheep sell?
In Oregon?
No,
in
here
Willard?
in Willard Bay.
I have, yeah.
I'm surprised that the
We sell all our sheep there.
oh, do you?
Yeah.
The there's like us Hispanics especially. They buy up these
Yes.
sheep a lot faster than
The Somalian group, the refugees, they also go in there and they'll buy up every goat too.
no,
Yeah,
every sheep,
so
every,
the specialty ethnic market is very strong in Salt Lake, but I don't think many people have like truly tapped into it in Utah.
I wish, I don't know if Dr. Foote talked to you about the panel we had as far as the meat quality and the taste panels that we had.
He talked about it being a superior meat quality, but I don't know if he went into the detail of the paneling.
Okay, well, what we did, we had straight St. Croix, straight Dorper, we had Rambouillet, and Suffolk. I don't know if there is a Suffolk, just blackface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what. So that we had the blackface, and then we crossed. We had crosses, and the first thing we did, of course, we raised the lambs. We did the feed studies, the feed conversions,
Yeah.
everything, and then we did the carcass evaluation. And then I think her name was Charlotte Brennan. And Dick Whittier, did you ever know Dick Whittier at Meats and Physiology?
I've heard the
Or
name.
meats?
I've
Yeah.
heard the name, yeah.
So then what we did was we took the carcasses, and Charlotte was a researcher in food and nutrition. So we'd have plates with marked like 6 different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Uh-huh.
And she had a secret little formula, which number went where, and on the next plate, number 6 here was number 2.
Oh, yeah.
You never did. Your plate was numbered.
Yeah.
And so when we got all done, we did the shear test
Yep.
on for
Tenderness and uh-huh.
and then we did a flavor. We had panels that would come in every Thursday. We would cook, and we went through loins, and for like 4 weeks, the panel would come in, and there were probably at least 50 or 60 people would come in at a time. And that would start like at 10 in the morning and go to noon.
Yeah.
But it was the same 50 that would come through. And then we went to the leg, and with just different cuts. And at the end, it turned out that the preference, and that was one of the things you marked as far as juiciness, flavor, tenderness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On each one of the pieces you tasted. When we got all done, the St. Croix were the very they were the favorite on all three: juiciness, tenderness, and flavor. The flavor was milder.
That's what Warren said.
One
Also.
thing that surprised me was that you would look at a lamb chop or a piece of meat, and St. Croix, it was like looking at a chicken thigh versus a breast. The dark meat versus the light meat. And the dark meat was, and I can't remember whether it was myoglobin or there's a different ratio of the myoglobin and hemoglobin, or whatever they were. And St. Croix, which was the darkest, was the most tender. It was the mild, the most preferred flavor. So people preferred the mild flavor. And it was the tenderness, the juiciness, and the flavor. Dorpers were next. St. Croix Dorper Cross was
Third.
and then you would get down, the very least was the, I don't remember whether it was the blackface or a blackface white cross,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it was a wool sheep. So anything with hair was the top, and then you went down, and it seems to me like the blackface were the least popular. But it was really funny when you mentioned Iran and the caracals. They would not let any of the Muslims be on the committee, on the case panel, because they did not like anything. They wanted that fat. They was more interested. They would have been happy to take a big chunk of tail fat meat
Yeah.
instead of meat.
Yeah.
I got told by my middleman buyer that if she could get a hold of fat tail sheep, she could retire.
Yeah, because that's the flavor.
Yes.
So when we got started on this, Dick and Charlotte, the two people at Meats and Physiology, they just said right from the first, we can't have it because we've done other sheep projects, and this is what's happened. So, those guys wanted to come in and eat lamb.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
We just had to. So it
Was
was.
that- Was that published? That
Yeah,
study?
it was, but I don't know. I left just about the time that we were finishing that all up. And Dr. Bunch wrote it up,
Okay.
Dr. Bunch did.
and
Okay.
along with Charlotte, I think. But I don't know where. I asked Tom the other day if it was published, and he said yes, it had been published. So, but that was about the time I retired. It was just when we finished that project. And I wish I would have been, stayed around long enough. And there was one other project that I really wanted to do, and that is when we crossed the St. Croix to like straight Rambouillet, we would get 2.0 lambing rate. If you cross Rambouillet to Rambouillet, you got a 1.6. Okay, why is the difference? What's the difference? It had to be embryonic survival, right? That's the only thing it could boil down to was, and I always thought, damn, I should have not retired. I should have in public because I don't know if it ever did it, but we had years of that data. And the St. Croix, when we bred them to any other, crossbred, we got a higher lambing rate than if we bred the others the straight. So, like I said, the only, and you see that in cattle too.
Yeah. So were you putting a St. Croix ram on the Rambouillets? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've noticed a difference when I've crossed the Dorpers with the St. Croix using a St. Croix ram on a Dorper ewe and a Dorper ram on a St. Croix ewe. The ewe determined more of what
That was the
lamb.
ovulation rate.
Yeah, and if it was a Dorper ewe, they seemed more Dorper, look shorter, wider, faster. When I used a Dorper ram on the St. Croix, they came out longer, lankier, bigger frame, but nice and wide and faster growing. And so it was pretty interesting that I got to see the difference.
Now I would suspect, like I say, you was using the two different breeds of ewes. There was a difference in ovulation
Yeah.
rates.
Yeah.
But where we was using St. Croix rams on,
So
the
you
only thing
saw the difference
yes,
using the ram.
Yeah.
yes. And the only thing I
Okay.
could figure out was, because we semen tested everything,
Sure.
the
Yeah.
rams,
Yeah.
they were all fertile.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could figure out was that we were getting better embryonic survival.
Yeah, because of the hybrid vigor,
Yeah,
probably.
the hybrid vigor. I see that with my cows.
Yeah.
I'm old enough that I believe in hybrid vigor.
Yeah.
That's what they used to teach us back when I was in school.
I
Yeah.
think they're wrong. And you can even have hybrid vigor within a breed. If you've got this closed flock and you bring in an outcross, you're going to get that
Yeah.
same thing. So that's that's encouraging.